Hello, I'm off in a couple of minutes to go to Essex BBC Radio. I'm being interviewed about my channel and books and writing and things like that. I'm going to post it tomorrow. It's on a programme called Your Essex. So, yes, that's very exciting and terrifying. In the meantime, I've read 3 books because obviously it was Women in Horror Month, so I read a few more women in horror. Um, I was not hugely taken with these 3. There was stuff I liked a lot about them, a couple of bits I wasn't so sure. The first one, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, I thought was okay. It's kind of a standard horror. Girl wants to figure out what happened to her older sister. It was originally a novella, and then the novel follows on from what happened to her sister. They go on a boat to seek out these strange mermaid type creatures, which weirdly enough is not the first killer mermaid book that I've read. There's also Planet Mermaid by Carlton Mellick III, which had the fantastic idea of having the human part of the mermaid's body being just like a lure to get humans to, trust them and go in. So it's kind of like when you see camouflages or lures in nature, which I thought was a good idea. This was equally, physiologically a good idea. I thought the mermaids are icky in Mira Grant's books. That is, they're icky. Their body's more like an eel, and the human part is quite simian. And I thought it was really clever that the hair was kind of like bioluminescence. It added like a little twist to it, and there's a great twist. Not exactly a twist, but something else that you learn about them, about the species, very, very close to the end of the book. But other than that, I don't know, the characters, I wasn't particularly bothered about them. They were all quite sort of cardboard. And there's one bit where a marine biologist refers to her friend, who's another scientist, as a nerd. And it's like, are we in high school? That's really not how most people see life when they leave school. I think Americans are quite obsessed with high school. The rest of the world, not so much. And I don't know, and one of the characters, who was the nerd, suddenly seems to turn into a frat boy briefly, and then just doesn't have a personality. And I don't know, it was okay. Like, it would probably be a fun popcorn film, and then there was Gemma Files' experimental film, which I liked a lot more. It was more inventive. It was more of a ghost story. So imagine, right, experimental film, silent film, ghost story. I should have absolutely adored this. And it was good, but I don't know, like some of the spooky stuff, it was kind of standard, where you see something in like pictures, or the characters I felt were very, much, much better than Into the Drowning Deep, and coping with her autistic son. That was a really good bit. But the actual spookiness, I was not afraid at any part of it. And I love a ghost story. So, it was okay. And then Black Magic Women, which was an anthology of various like women of colour. And the trouble with this one is that it kind of went with every angle of horror, which is fine. But I'm not into quite a lot of horror. Like zombie things I'm pretty sick of, vampire things I'm not that keen on, and when it comes to, I don't know, various kinds of horror. But the ones that I did like were the kind of spooky, weird, witchy ones, like Labour Pains by Kenya Moss Dime. I loved that one. That was really good. It was quite weird. It was about a man whose wife keeps having really strange babies, which he then has to dispose of. It was really very good. And Return to Me by Laurie Titus, which was quite ghosty and voodoo-y, and I liked it. So yeah, not a huge amount to report. I think when it comes to women in horror, the two books that I would really, really recommend are sorry, Body by Asa Nanami and Little Eve by Catriona Ward. So there you go. Right, I've got to go to Chelmsford to BBC Essex Radio. Okay, see you then. Bye.